सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तपोभिक्षीणपापानां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षूणामपेक्षोऽयम् आत्मबोधो विधीयते। Page 90, Shloka number 34. निर्गुणो निष्क्रियो नित्यः निर्विकल्पो निरञ्जनः निर्विकारो निराकारः नित्यमुक्तोऽस्मि निर्मलः। After the entire process of नेति भगवान आदि शंकराचार्य जी thinks enough of manana is done. Shravana, Manana, and then Nidhidhyasana. Nidhidhyasana, very loosely translated into English, is called meditation. Before we touch the topic of Nidhidhyasana, there is so much to be redefined or undefined because of the present day confusion. I shouldn't say present day because Puja Gurudev in his work Meditation and Life, Puja Guruji in Jnana Swarupam, that beautiful little textbook, it's actually a booklet, 12 or 13 shlokas, he defines it very, very effectively. We have a wrong conclusion or conviction with regards to the method and process called meditation. Because we keep hearing that meditation is a process for Atma Sakshatkar. Meditation is a process wherein it is one solution to fix all. In Hyderabadi language, we think it is the Zinda talisman for everything. Whether it is internal, external, pain, suffocation, whatever it is, Jai Dinda talisman. So we have been using meditation or Jnana in that way. And many schools have incorporated it. Many corporate segments have incorporated it. And somehow we miss the beat. We miss the understanding. And it is very unsettling. Therefore, I said we miss the beat. Whenever there is a bhajan session happening, there is always that one enthusiastic devotee. Everything is going in rhythm, and there is one who has an offbeat clap or a off-tune chorus. And for somebody like me who does not know proper singing, that whatever little tune, that simple ones that I have picked up, even if there is a off tune somewhere, my tune goes off. That's why it is unsettling. They very rhythmically have offbeat clap or an offbeat tune. Shruti. That's why in Telugu we say, if somebody is upsetting or overdoing or we say, Shruti Mira. Shruti Dhatak. Meaning be in your Shruti. So this word meditation is the process that indicates, even though we have been in satsanga, in shravana, in swadhyaya for a very long time, somehow the misconception is not eradicated. There are various layers to it. I was mentioning a few yesterday. One, that because it is one solution which fits everything, one cap that fits every head, that is the kind of solution that we look into. We think that when the mind is not focused, when the mind is not in a proper balance, it is agitated, when it is not in accessibility, I think sit down in meditation, everything will be sorted out. It may not be that simple a process as it appears. बस करना कुछ नहीं, आंख बंद करके बैठना. Nothing has to be done. Just close your eyes and sit. See, if the sadhana was to sit and not move and close your eyes, that is a good sadhana. But the expectation is that with this meditation, there is something sublime to be experienced, achieved. Bhagavan says it very clearly in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Please read Puja Gurudev's commentary on it again and again and again. Tatra ekagram manah kritva na kinchidapi chintayet. Before we sit on the seat of meditation, before we think we are qualified to sit on the seat of meditation, first foremost question that we have to ask ourselves as a seeker: is my mind accessible? Is my mind accessible and available? Many times when we sing that tan, man, dhan, sab kuch hai tera. And tan you have brought, dhan maybe you will offer. Man, if it is not accessible, what are you offering? It should be available, right? So with an unprepared mind, when we sit with the expectation that I sit in dhyana and concentration will grow, that is not the purpose of it. That which will not yield the result which we are anticipating, the frustration is high. That we will end up saying, oh, I have tried it, Swamiji, it doesn't work. For eons and eons, the rishis have sophisticated that method. And yet somehow we in this time and age think that it is not a very pragmatic approach because it काम नहीं करता. I had one Amma. I am not making it up. I had one Amma that was saying that her asthma, in spite of medication, is not resolved. Just out of a whim, I said, do you have it on you? Are you carrying it with you? Because if sometimes that asthma attack happens, you need to have that little inhaling pump. Just out of whim, I asked, do you have it on you? Are you carrying it with you? He said, yes, of course. Can you show me how you use it? She felt very offended. What do you think that I am dumb, that I don't know how to use it? But dikha dijiye. How do you use it? So she pulled out her pump and then, like how you use perfume, she pumped it on each side of her chin, and I was left in chin mudra. I was dumbfounded. I didn't want to offend her, that even when I asked, she found it very offensive. So I said, please check with your doctor, show him what you do, and see if there is something to be changed. So the hesitation when she saw, then she realized that maybe there is something, and then she pressed on, nahi Swami, you please tell. And then you shouldn't get offended. And I said, it has to be put in your mouth and you have to inhale it. That is when it will have an effect. As you press, you need to suck on it and pull it in. That is when it will have the effect. You are using the right tool with a wrong method, intending for an absolute clearance inside, and you say it is not working. कहीं तो कुछ तो गड़बड़ हो रहा है. So let us understand these steps. What does Shravana promise? Shravana promises Akhanda Atmaikya Bodha. It promises Bodha, cognizing my true nature. I'll give you an example. Karna was told to meet Kunti Devi just before the war and ask her about his biological parents. Up until then, he didn't know. And he was quite comfortable being Radheya. So, they meet secretly. Just before war, mother of Pandavas meeting one of the ace champions of Kauravas. It has to be in a very secret. So in that secret meeting, he asked, I've been told that you know this secret. Can you please reveal it to me? Then she says, I have 6 sons, and the oldest one is not with me, and that happens to be you. And the words that she uses is why I am using that example. The words that she uses is that 6th one, the oldest one, Tat Tvamasi. You are that eldest child of mine who is not with me right now. And the word she says, Tat Tvamasi, that you already are. The moment he realizes it, what he did with that knowledge, whether he changed, whether he wanted to join this team, that is a different story. The focus is not on that. So don't go there. Bring your mind back. As soon as he was told that Bodha was given, he cognized it. The moment he cognized what his true nature is, that he is the oldest child of Kunti Devi, he realized something. What did he realize? He did not become, he already was. In that cognition, there was a void, and that was now filled. And what did that filling information or filling knowledge that happened? That I am her son, the oldest one, the elder one. Was there a sudden aura of light? Because most of us have seen in the paintings and in the pictures that a realized one has a little bulb on the back and there is a halo. And many behave also as though they have a halo. It's very hollow. No, there was nothing of such. As soon as he heard, his Jnana was complete. I am that. I am that which I already have been. There is nothing to create, nothing to become. I am it. Shravana, the purpose is Akhanda Atmaikya Bodha. Shravana brings forth that knowledge, and as soon as that knowledge is understood, Jnana has already happened. We have seen it. Vritti Jnana gives the knowledge of the Vritti. Atma Vritti gives the pointer towards my own true nature. And it is not a special event or a special happening wherein suddenly you start Somebody said, I levitate. I said, put a long string, measure it to your height of your room, because if you are having a fan running and you levitate too high, you may disturb the fan. So put a string and tie it down so that it can hold you down. This is not a magical kind of an environment where Atmajnana suddenly things start behaving without the laws of physics. Shravana purpose is both. Is that clear? As soon as we hear it and the understanding happens, Atmajnana has happened. Now you see the mic, you see the chair, you see all these. As soon as you are seeing it, does it not indicatively bring the profoundness that light is, the illumination is happening. I may not directly see the light, but as soon as I see something, it is nothing but the reflection of that light. The moment I see that reflection, the source is concluded. And the moment I conclude that source, this chair doesn't levitate. Chair doesn't have a sudden glow. Unless the chair is made of that kind of a light illuminating material. That's a different story. Shravana brings bodha meaning Atma Jnana bodha, akhanda Atmaikya bodha. But many of us, for several janma, the way the jiva has transmigrated, we have reached to this point that the mind has various hookups, that is hooked on to various convictions, various doubts. Those doubts have to be clarified, therefore there is manana as a process. So manana, what is the purpose? That jnana which was supposed to happen during Shravana itself, since that has not happened, all that which is blocking me from realizing it, those sandeha has to be removed. Nivritti. Sandeha nivritti is the purpose of manana. What is the purpose of Nidhidhyasana? Nidhidhyasana is not for realization. Meditation is not for realization. Meditation is a process. And realization cannot be a product of a process. If it be a product that can be produced, it can be lost as well. That kind of joy I am already having and I am enjoying it. Another in the list that I sit, meditate and suddenly something happens. Now the bodha, when it happens, it is so profound that we take to that complete quietude and in that stillness of consciousness where we call it as samadhi, I abide in it. But meditation, nidhidhyasana, is to remove habitual errors that our antakarana has gathered over several eons of our transmigration. That removal, wherever I am attached subtly, wherever that clinging on is still happening, that can be removed only through proper analysis. Therefore, the pointers given in the entire literature of Shruti, Vedic literature, or the Prakarana Granthas or the Smriti Granthas, wherever that has been pointed, the pointers are given as what is the Lakshana of this Atma Swarupa And we have to map what? Where is it that I am attached? What is it that is disturbing me, that is erroneously happening because of my earlier existing habits? That habitual error and that habit has to be broken. And that habit can be broken only in thorough contemplation or analysis. Here it is not Sandeha Nivritti. All Sandeha is to be removed only in Manana. I am making that subtle difference between Manana and the meditative, contemplative process. In Manana, you are thoroughly investigating. I am not very clear. I am investigating. In Nidhidhyasana, meditation, there is no more investigation. I have identified all those layers wherein the mind is still impacted because of its habitual error. That erroneous perception has to be removed. Almost all of us are attached to our Indriya Sukha. Therefore, the contemplation that is given in Nidhidhyasana is this Atma Chaitanya is Nirindriyaha. Just taking an example. Ignorance is what causes all of this confusion, which most of us already are affected by. To remove that, the words like Shubhraha, it is pure, there is no mala there, Nirmalaha. Mind is constantly agitated. Why? Habitual error. See, sometimes if we don't behave in that pattern, it starts creating agitations. So after the Vedanta course, I went and met my parents, specifically my mother. And earlier to that, our relationship was whether it be to decide something or to talk about something, there has to be an ensued argument between us. We may be talking the same thing, but that argument is the communication method. I came back and there was no arguments. And she was very frustrated, agitated. I very casually mentioned it with one of our senior Swamis, and he said, go back to how you were with her earlier. So I went back and I started arguing, and then she was comfortable. That through which I used to communicate, that communication is not lost. Mind also is like that. If it is not agitated, we think that kuch to gadbad hone wala hai. Everything is so quiet. It is like the calm before the storm. Something wrong, something bad is going to happen. I can feel it. Even if it were not to happen, we will initiate all the process towards it. Habitual error. To remove that kind of agitation, the pointer given is Prashantaha. Shanti is that which can come and go. See, sometimes when the fan is running too fast, we may get habituated to it. But then the moment somebody turns it off, and then we hear, oh, it is so quiet, it is so good. But that quietude can be broken, can be shaken up. Something else, whether from outside, whether from inside, something happens, and that quietude is disturbed, we get distracted. But Atma Chaitanya Swarupa is Prashanta. That state of solid quietude wherein whatever may happen or not happen, it does not get disturbed because it is of the nature of undisturbed, immaculate existence. So we have to map this for ourselves. There are various pointers given. Why so many pointers that are given, elaborately given? Go into a work called Upadesha Sahasri or Viveka Chudamani. There is a whole segment of those pointers. Why are those pointers necessary? Because we are of different makeup of our mind. So I have to use those pointers, map it well, and then constantly contemplate on it to remind myself that habitual error has to be, that habit has to be broken slowly but thoroughly. The example that Adi Shankaracharya gives, it is like the moss or the green stuff that is in the lake, which is Nischala. But then when you want to take the water, what do? You push that aside. If you are experienced enough, this is not the first time that you are going, then that pot itself you put lightly touching onto the surface and move. The greenness or that leafy stuff moves away, then you dip it, take the water. Similarly, this habitual error is that kind of a green moss that keeps coming. That to remove, to work on it, is where Nidhidhyasana. That it takes you to that Atma Swarupa Lakshana, and that which is blocking is being slowly and carefully peeled off, removed, evaporated. Shravana is for Akhanda Atmaikya Bodha. Manana is to remove Sandeha. And Nidhidhyasana is for removing habitual errors. Am I getting across? So when that Bodha happens, in that Bodha, as it happens, when I am absorbed in that Bodha as my true nature, there is that avastha called Samadhi. The Dhi has found its answer. That which it was searching for, the identity crisis has come to an end. But the intensity of abidance should be so strong that it is not limited to that particular moment where I come to realize it. But when I walk, talk and do wherever I am interacting with, that standpoint of clarity and experience is not lost ever. It seems to be lost because of this habitual error. Therefore, to remove it, we say Dhyana. Am I getting across? Because this confusion is horrendous. Says Swamiji, we should also develop meditation apps. It's an in thing now. I have 2-3 friends who are good at developing those apps. We need the framework for it, sound bites for it, nice soothing music for it, for which we don't have to infringe on anybody's copyrights. It has to be our own music. And if we put that team together, we can develop an app. that which is not sourced through the experience of Indriya. And in order to meditate, people have produced so many products. As I was coming back to India, I was given a gift hamper. A package for meditation. A nice, beautiful asana. And that asana was organic cotton. भाई इनऑर्गेनिक कॉटन कहाँ से होता है? कॉटन ऑर्गेनिक ही होता है. Organic cotton mat. On that a thin layer of woolen sheet. खतरनाक. Meditative incense sticks. Meditative music. About 7-8 CDs. Meditative music. And to listen to that music in silence. Over the years, क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Headphones. Bluetooth enabled. All this was fine. There was one product which, like, even now when I think of it, I get into hilarious bouts of laughter. Meditative sabun, soap. खतरनाक है. I have not used it. I am not scared of anything, but I am scared of that soap. That if I go into the bathroom and apply it suddenly, Naham manaha, naham buddhi, naham shariraha, suddenly lost there, tap running, that shower head running, I am levitating. In my imagination, but meditative soap. Organic, herbal infused meditative soap. And there are people who buy it. There is a market for it. And with all this confusion, we come and say, Swami, meditation. काहे के लिए meditation? Do we understand what that meditation is meant for? I'm sure when there are doctors here, people think that they have something and say, "No, Swami, doctor, give me an injection." And then probably you punch in and give some kind of a, there is an effect that is called placebo effect. And they say, now I feel good. This chakra is very, very vicious. It's a feel-good factor that we are searching for. And meditation is not for a feel-good factor. Have I clearly communicated all the misunderstandings of what we think meditation to be or the effect of it? Any confusion anywhere, please ask now. Because as we proceed further, because I can hear the whisper, I can see the video, audio is not clear. Manana is required here. Sandeha nivritti. What kinds of Sandeha? Sandeha like Ishvara is described as, example of Ishvara is, he is Sarvashaktiman, Sarvavyapi, Sarvajna. When Tattvamasi is being discussed, when Tat is being analyzed, that Tat Ishvaratva is described as Sarvajna, Sarvavyapi, Sarvashaktiman. How can that be me? Because I am Alpagnya, Alpavyapi, Alpashaktiman. My Vyapakatva is this. If I lie down 6 foot by 2 feet. Many times when I go to a hotel to stay or in somebody's house, most of the times I have to borrow a chair. Because if I put the head, the legs are hanging out. If I put the legs in, then the head is hanging out. Whichever is comfortable. That is the amount of Vyapakatva. Alpavyapi. Alpagnya. However much I have learnt, whatever I have learnt, to the amount of knowledge that is out there, my Jnana is only a little. Narada Muni in the Upanishad, where he describes all the fields of wisdom that he has gained mastery over, his resume runs into 3 pages. There is not a field that he has not dabbled with, he has mastered it. And still he says that I think with all the knowledge that is available, it is like having the sands of the ocean, and what I know is one renu, one small particle, Alpagnya. Alpavyapi, Alpagnya. And Alpashaktiman. Ishvara is that who has the capacity which is unending. Mine is I start energetic in the morning. By afternoon, at least the age group that we are here, I would say we need a little break. Siesta. After fiesta is the feast. Lunch, there has to be a little, like a kid we nap. So we can say kidnapping. My Shakti is not lasting. And then again in the night, tiredness takes over. Shakti is not there anymore. So much tiredness that if somebody was giving you some critical analysis, you say, not right now. My brain is hearing, but it is not able to process anything. Alpashaktiman. Whenever in the airplanes, one untold duty of people that are tall is a given expectation that if there is anybody short, please can you help put it, can you please take that out for me? And sometimes it is also the weight and the Shakti of it, not able to. You have to quickly reach out and Hanuman Sanjeevani avatar. You have to usher it into the cabin space. Alpashaktiman. How can this Ishvara be this Jiva? Impossible. That is the Sandeha. Then there is the Sandeha of, say, in the field of, when it is said Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Questions like, if I am the one that is continuing and the new life is like waking up in the morning and starting from where I have left in the earlier day, this life also we start from where we have left in the earlier life. But in that example, I remember what I did last day. I remember the entire. Why is it that I don't remember? I don't see the continuity. That is a sandeha. For all these kinds of sandeha, manana is the process wherein I am investigating into those doubts to clarify those, remove those doubts. There are questions. Those questions have to be answered as well. Therefore, I investigate into the Shastra Vichara. The difference between doubt and a question. Doubt is, I don't believe this is true, this is possible. Question is, I believe, but there are patches of it where I am not very clear about it. Both kinds have to be removed. Doubts have to be removed and questions also have to be removed. Therefore, our Shastra, our way of life, Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma, Vaidika Parampara cannot be blamed of having a dogmatic approach. Dogmatic meaning there are do's and don'ts, and if you do, you are a good Hindu. If you don't, then you are a bad Hindu. Reason? Nobody gives the reason. But here we are asked to investigate thoroughly into everything that which we are told. Don't believe because it is the Shastra saying, don't believe because it is the Guru who is saying it. Does it have a logical approach? Does it make sense? And that day when it makes sense and I start understanding it, that understanding is what brings change. So nobody can blame Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma for being dogmatic. All other Mata Paramparas are dogmatic, not Hinduism. So be careful when you say all religions are same. Heck no, they are not. That clarity also should come through Manana. That is why when Adi Shankaracharya takes, there is a Purva Pakshi, the one who raises doubts. And then there is Samadhana, where that Guru he is himself raising those questions, he is himself answering them. All possible doubts, all possible questions are taken to investigation and it is done a thorough job. Therefore, when we say while reading Vedanta, Bhashya, studying that Bhashya is necessary, the technical language that it is used may throw us off, but if the technicality is unfolded properly and understood in today's terms, so many of the doubts that we carry are removed. This Sandeha Nivritti is called Manana. Am I clear? Is that point clear? Shravana Manana Nidhidhyasana. Can you repeat it again?
I don't know. Is clear Shravana. I haven't known, but I haven't said properly. And I know I have understood, but I have no experience in Nidhidhyasana. Probably Nidhidhyasana is also a place where the focus is a single thought.
Probably what lastly.
Focus is a single thought. Single thing, like in the meditation, that is what I understand. Japa, Dharana, Jnana, then Guru.
Now you have changed the entire system. Because when you say Dharana, Jnana, Samadhi, that happens in the Yoga Kriya. Here we are talking the Advaita Kriya. Advaita Kriya. Therefore, I have not used those words very consciously. So, just so that everybody is clear as to what he has said. Shravana removes that which I don't know. Shravana removes that which I don't know. Manana removes that which I did not understand. Sandeha nivritti. And the dhyana, what does it, nidhidhyasana, what does it do? It removes my absence of abidance in experience. But the experience happens as soon as the knowing happens. Because what is the Shruti Vakya? Jnanat evatu kaivalyam. As soon as knowing happens, knowing is being. Being is knowing. Atma Sakshatkara has happened as soon as that knowing happens. The abidance in it seems to take a long time because of those erroneous habits. Those have to be removed through this contemplative process. Therefore, we sit and the focus of these pointers is to remove those layers so that when I am trying to abide, those layers of erroneous habits don't distract me away. That abidance in experience is formally guaranteed through dhyana. But realization as such happens only in knowing. It is like there is a torchlight on a chair. Everybody is searching for it, and you know you had turned it on, but you've now forgotten where it is. And upon searching, you will find that behind those pillows and the blanket which is thrown, there is some vague light. Now what do you do? Remove those layers. That which is illuminating is already revealed. That is the process of dhyana. So it is more like a statement to corroborate with what we are presently discussing. But this clarity has to be there. Otherwise, with wrong expectations we sit and it will build very subtle layers of frustration. And that agitation is very, very strong. That we become vimukha from the sadhana itself. Why? Because we had wrong expectations, because we have developed that based on our wrong convictions. Is so far clear? Are we all on the same page?
So, the undoing the wrong factor thinking is undoing.
Gradual undoing of those erroneous patterns is called jnana. Yes, you can say that.
So, there is a single thing.
Yes, it is a single. Vedanta is Vedic. There is no difference. Upanishad Jnana is Vedanta. Upanishads are Vedic only. So, when you say Vedic or Vedantic, it leads to an impression saying Vedanta is not Vedic. Therefore, I clarified it. Wherever Pauranic also is taken, that is drawn only from the Upanishadic knowledge. Therefore, this Vedanta means Vedic only. Pauranic, because it is drawing from the Vedanta which is propounded by the Vedic literature, though it is coming in the Smriti or Itihasa, it is still called Vedanta only. So these pointers, what it is doing is taking us to that one singular point of Nischalata. Nischalata, everything else which is temporary has movement. That which is my true nature is Nischala, that which is not disturbed by any sense of movement. Because this absence of this clarity is mind-boggling. We keep coming to satsang, we keep listening to Shravana, we keep listening, going through various textbooks. We are busy completing textbooks. Dhanadan, मैंने ये खत्म कर दिया, वो खत्म कर दिया. The basic clarity of Shravana Manana Nidhidhyasana is absent. खत्म करके क्या कर रहे हो? It's also a feel-good factor. I have done all the Prakarana Granthas, I have done all the Brahma Sutras, I have done all the Bhagavad Gita chapters, I have done Shankara Bhashya also, I have done Upanishads also. Ask the basic question, what is Shravana Manana Nidhidhyasana, what is its purpose? Completely entangled meanings. Therefore, I thought before I go into those meditative pointers, clearly समझ तो लो कि what is the purpose of meditation. Therefore, usually it is a monologue. Today I said I will change the pattern, that even if there is some questions, objections, some conception that you have, if that has to be clarified, let us clarify it before we proceed on it. Otherwise, this has been continued for a very long time. Because we again, the things are in English. Many of us have this habit. As soon as I am starting to chant a new shloka, people are busy reading English. Before the meaning can be given, that purport can be given across, you are already filling it with an impression of what your understanding of that shloka is, which may be off the mark. This is while during the pravachan itself. Now, the books are printed in English, books are printed in various languages, they are available in abundance. So we pick up. See, one of the greatest blessings that Guruji had advised us, because in 93 when I had joined, we still had Gurudev's original library in the Sandipani Ashram, and it was open for us brahmacharis. Guruji's instruction was, do not go into that library for next 1 year. Do not refer to any other book for 1 year. Keep your mind open to first understand the concepts, clarify them if need be, and then to support that understanding, go after a year. Until then, do not fill. The books may be awesome, but because of not a structured way of study, it will only mess your thinking, mess your understanding. I appreciate that one sentence from Guruji so much, because those who had the habit of getting other books and constantly secretly reading it, and then their confusion was in abundance. That book, that author is saying this book, that author is saying this, but you are saying like this. I think somewhere in Gurudev's only question answer is this: your foolish perceptions, I am not responsible for clearing it out. Stop filling your head with junk. I am not a dustbin cleaner. Gurudev was very, very clear about such things. And today's world, there is so much of literature that is being sold in the name as though it is Hinduism. I don't mind stating those names. It appears as though it is very Vedantic. I mean, there is a Bewkoof hai, and I call him out very clearly, Bewkoof hai. Devdutt Patnaik. Oh Baba, what kind of literature is he producing? The basic definitions of what we call Vedanta, he's completely messed it up. One day, usually when I am traveling through, if I usually carry all my books in a PDF. And I have this habit of going through the books stall there. So in that book stall, as I was going, I saw there was this book on Bhagavad Gita by this author. I just mentioned his name. I picked it up, got it. $18-20 था, खरीदा. I sat down in half an hour. I went through certain pages. Sthula Sharira, he has changed the definition. He is calling it as a societal norm. Sukshma Sharira, he has changed it. Karana Sharira is like completely changed. And how can you change the basic definitions of Vedanta? Within half an hour, I went and literally threw the book in the dustbin. Erroneous meanings. And many young intellectual people that they have that inquisitiveness, get caught up in this. I mean, I read all of those also, just so that when people ask questions, I know where they are coming from. I know which layer to peel it out. As soon as the question is being asked, I say, stop reading that literature. How do you know I was reading? Because that question can come only to a person who is reading that literature. It feels as though it is very, very Vedantic. See, these concepts that have been adapted into our lives without our knowledge, without our processing. I'll give you another example. A very mundane, but something that we can grasp. People come and say, Swamiji, you are more closer to God, you please pray for us. This is an un-Hindu concept. Ishvara is not close or far away from anybody because of certain qualifications. He is available and reachable to anybody that is there trying for it. You don't need a via media. A via media is required only by the Abrahamic religions, wherein they say your prayers, your confessions and your any other process is valid only if you cannot directly communicate with God. You have to communicate through that priest, that particular nun, that particular father, brother, whoever it is, or mullah, maulvi. That is when it gets connected. You cannot directly go and connect. But that has gotten presented in such a way that we have adapted to it, and now we carelessly are using it in our day-to-day life, saying that someone is required to usher my prayers on my behalf and they have to be closer to God. When Gurudev makes a statement, a very profound statement, saying, how far is the dreamer from the waker? That far you are from being awakened. That Ishvara is not far, is not away. You don't need an intermediary to connect you there. Therefore, the profoundness in our Shastra, that which you love singing, Nirvana Shatakam, it very clearly says, Na Guru, Na Veda, Na Yajna. None of them are required for you for the direct connection. At the most that they can do is point, the rest of it is up to you as to how you reach there, when you reach there. Am I getting it across? So with all these different literatures that go in, our confusion is so profound that in spite of being in satsang, in spite of going through for years and years and years, basic definitions are gotten wrong. Oh, I believe that Bhagwan is supreme energy. Yeah, Bengali hai kya? Chatterjee, Mukherjee, Banerjee, now this energy. Bhagwan cannot be defined as energy. Energy is a subtle layer of matter. Matter cannot be Ishvara. He is not Shakti Swarupa. He is Shaktiman. That who is endowed with that Shakti, he is independent of that Shakti. That subtlety is missed when you call Bhagavan as supreme energy. Oh, they might be meaning Ishvara in that way only, but if you mean it that way, you have to say it that way also. You cannot mess around with this vocabulary either. Therefore, the definitions, therefore, the understanding of those definitions. If the process is not properly understood, if the direction of the process is not properly understood, its application will be misused or abused. And subtle layers of this frustration builds up that we become a renunciate, renouncing sadhana itself. And that is an even more dangerous situation. Hope I am able to communicate the seriousness of it. I'll stop here. We will go through the pointers tomorrow. Because if I today would be the last session for this month. Because I have the dual duty. I have to go to Vijayawada ashram, be there for 7 to 10 days and come back. I am back here on 6th. So 7th morning we will have the session beginning. Because 6th I have to cater to the school and I have a very packed schedule that day. So I thought I will start this on the 7th. So I'll send you the reminders through the groups about the 7th. But do not consider this particular sessions that we are having in the morning as an equivalent of Yajna and that I would be rushing through the text. My focus is to clarify the basics so that as we progress in our Vedantic understanding, the lack of these basic clarity will not hinder us later. I mean, we are Gurudev's children wherein his profoundness is only Vedanta, and if that basic itself is not there, I think we are not doing justice to ourselves being his students. So therefore this will be meticulously done and it will be done in a slow progression. I am not in a rush. कि आत्मबोध खत्म कर दिया फिर विवेक चूड़ामणि खत्म कर दिया नहीं, it is the wrong understanding that has to be खत्म. Is my purpose clear? So when are we meeting again for the morning class? On the 7th at 6:30. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaः Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Amritangamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om